Oh, he's gone. I know, right? He's been gone for a while. I know. Okay. Tori, I think you're up then. Don't worry, he'll find me. William knows where to find me. Tori, okay, one sec. No problem. No problem. In the meantime, I'll take a look at what's going on Instagram.
Can you hear me?
Tori, yes, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. You know,
Good.
fun,
Sorry,
fun with.
the kids are napping, so I had to close the door.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um,
Fair enough.
so I wanted to talk with you about my the I guess the model that you helped me pick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think it would, of course, be a lot easier if we were like all in a studio together and we were working on this as a team and I was
Mm-hmm.
standing back and you were right there and that's I guess what makes going to actual school a lot more beneficial. But
It
it's
is.
that one in the middle on that second row. Go down one. Yeah. So if you'll like scroll over to the last picture, I'll it helps me better, I guess, describe what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason that I kind of stopped here, and I think
Mm-hmm.
you can help me, I guess, better understand where I need to go from here, is because I really like I really like a few certain details about this model. Like I like there you see on the left, I like the straws that connect those two pieces, the little coffee straws. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
Mm-hmm.
really like the little toothpick bridge. And then
This one right here?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
when you come from a different angle, you see this other bridge with this other kind of thing up high or whatever. So
This
where
one right here
I'm,
on the right?
yeah. So where I guess I feel a little bit stuck in this moment, where I think you would help me a little better if we were kind of working in the studio together,
Mm-hmm.
um, is how do I fill this space without cluttering my model, and then you can't even see the aspects of this model that I like. That's kind of what I was nervous about because yeah, I could throw a bunch of straws in there, I could throw a bunch of toothpicks in there, but then I get nervous that it becomes like bleh, like I just spit out a bunch of product and a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
material, and it just looks you know, like my 4-year-old came in here and, threw stuff around. So I want
Mm-hmm.
it to look like I'm filling this space and I am, um, I am making an intricate model, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, I don't want to cluster the specific parts that I really find interesting too. So like, can you help me kind of develop a better idea with that? Or
Oh,
at
of
least
course, Tori.
what you think?
Of course. Of course, sorry. That's what we're here for. And that's
I
an
don't know if I
excellent
explained that
question.
very well.
Oh, no, no, you did. You did perfectly. And I think you touched on all of the points that I would touch on, right? I mean, listen, kids have tremendous creativity, right? I mean, and I'm sure, they come up with incredible creations, right? However, there's a lack of acknowledgement of rules and perhaps parameters that we start setting up so that there's, I think what you're kind of looking for is some sort of a control, right? I mean, intricacy intricacy does not mean randomness. I think sometimes we kind of like put those together, right? Intricate
Right.
mean random, meaning that it's complex and I don't understand what's going on. However, that's not usually the case. And I think trigonometry and some other physics prove that, right? I mean, complexity, it's all about order actually, right? I mean, so where does this all start, Tori? I think for me it starts with the concept, right? And I think that's
Hmm.
what I mean. I think it's so important that we have something to latch onto, right? I mean, something that again, like okay, so that when we get to these moments, this exact moment story. And by the way, I hope you don't mind. I'm recording this just so that it can become helpful for others,
Of
right?
course.
Um,
Yeah.
this is where we tap onto our concept. It's like, okay. I like what I have, but I know I need to move a little bit further, right? But I just
Mm-hmm.
not sure where. So then that's where we kind of like look into our origin as like, okay, bridge, right? So then maybe the challenge is again to either redefine what bridging means or expand on what bridging means, because it can mean many things, or I guess it can mean a few things, but it could be depicted differently and it could be achieved differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that for me would be step one, right? I mean, like, okay, bridge, right? Cool. I think second, or maybe even first, or it's kind of what you're doing, right? The observation, be like, all right. So, and I don't know, this is very personal, but maybe, I don't know, maybe you're looking into this space right here. Maybe you're looking into this space right here. Maybe you're actually talking about this model, perhaps. How does it look from, let's say, the top view, right? Like a view like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, well, okay, maybe that's not it, Munoz. Like, I'm okay with this, and I actually like this view for me. And I mean, again, you guided me to this view over here, so I have a feeling that maybe this is kind of like the view that you're trying to maybe spice up a little bit, if that's the word, or maybe challenge yourself a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
I would try to diversify for what you're doing. And I'm going to point out a few things that you're doing, which I think are very interesting, that again can help you move forward.
Okay.
So bridging, right? So I think you called it your toothpick bridge. So that's cool, right? And this is a technique that you're only using here, I think, maybe, or maybe you're using it somewhere else, but it's a special. So I think that's cool. That's great, right? Second, you have another idea right here of bridging, right? I mean, this one is a different concept, right? I mean, it's a bridge, but it's solid rather than
Mm-hmm.
translucent, or, I mean, porous, right? Another idea of bridging, right? You're connecting. This is now more of those people that walk on the line and they're kind of like the kind
Oh
of like,
yeah.
how do you call this? How do you call that?
Trapeze artist. Trapeze
Trapeze
artist or
art.
something. Yeah.
Yes, right. So
Yeah.
I see that as a kind of like little bridge right there, right? I mean, it's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
it's a bridge, but it's very thin, right? You have something going on over here that is interesting, right? And it's kind of like a floating bridge. It's more like a trampoline, if you will, kind of
Yeah.
in a way, all right? So, I'm pointing all of these things out because, again, can I use some of the tools that I have to keep expanding on this concept of bridge, right? And right now for me, okay, I look at this stress right here and I look in this form that is going on right here. Well, what happens if, for example, there's another bridge that kind of comes out of there, right? Or from, maybe some of these components right here, but that it's
Mm-hmm.
not solid, right? What if it's just the straws, right? I mean, kind of like creating the wireframe, if you will, of
Mm-hmm.
a bridge, right?
Okay.
And then this would look very interesting from the top because you would be able to look into that. All right.
Right.
Now notice, for example, right? I could have connected it to this form right here, but I'm also, right? What happens when there's bridges to nowhere, right? I'm pretty sure that you have heard of the concept of a dead end corridor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? A dead end corridor, right? I mean, there's this corridor, you get to the end, and there's nothing. There's not an exit. There's maybe like an office, but it's that place where no one ever goes because it's a
Right.
dead end, right? What if you start exploring, right? I mean, the idea of bridges that doesn't bridge you anywhere. And maybe there's some that bridge you to somewhere, but maybe there's a bridge that is actually more like a lookout, or maybe more like again, like a platform, right?
Right.
So rather than maybe connecting all of the bridges, maybe they don't, right? So I think
Mm-hmm.
that could be another way of looking at it. Now, perhaps, right? We could even mm, you could even go as so far as saying that do bridges do bridges need to be horizontal, right? I mean, is this a bridge, right? Or is this a bridge? Well, it's a connection and you're
Mm-hmm.
bridging between them, right? So where I'm getting to is that maybe you also explore what the bridge concept is vertically and not only horizontally. So again, I think it's all about a vocabulary, right? I mean, so in this case, you have a bridge that maybe is 100% solid, right? Then maybe you have a bridge that is, you know, kind of like small lattices, like the one that you have in the back. Maybe what happens when you have another bridge, right? Then maybe it's kind of like the same idea, but it's more now like a ladder, or like
Right.
what kids like to use, or all of us. I think I still really like to use those kind of things, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the jungle gym, or however it's called, right?
Okay.
Um, right. So you start kind of like opening that spacing.
Hmm.
What happens if you remove all of the spacing from the inside, right? And there's actually nothing, but it's just the wireframe of the bridge,
Yeah.
right? I think those are the kind of things that I will start looking into, Tori. I think you have used all of your volumes and all of your slabs, but
Hmm.
I think you have potential to either relocate, reuse some of the pieces that you currently have, and
Okay.
incorporate some of the maybe comments that I have brought up right now. Those are some of the things that kind of come into mind right now. Do you
Okay.
think any of those maybe give you some ideas?
Yes. I think that does make sense because even with a bridge on this closer side, that doesn't seem to, at least with your drawing, it doesn't seem to block the view
Hmm.
of the other three aspects that I want the viewer to see when they're
Hmm.
in this position, at least. So I just didn't want
I
to
see.
put a bunch of things in and then you lose the value of the things that are actually kind of cool. So,
I see. I see. Now I understand your concern there, or your concern was to again like saturate with blocking the view.
yeah,
Right. That's kind of like what you're trying to avoid, right? I mean, just kind of like covering
right.
stuff. I see. Well,
Yeah.
I think then ultimately, right? I mean, that really would apply, right? I mean, what happens is you start kind of like creating some of this additional kind of like platforms, you know, that kind of like start kind of like projecting out, and again, they don't become an obtrusive member. I mean, you have to study it from different views, because this view might start becoming very exciting and, oh man, that's what I'm going for. But then
Right.
let's not forget that this is a three-dimensional model, and it's always the case, or a lot of times is the case, that you know you go back and you start looking at it from the top, and that exact same thing that you were trying to avoid, it's not happening where you were making sure it didn't happen,
Right.
but it kind of like appears in other places, like, ah, oh, dang it, okay, I didn't think about that, right? So
Right.
you know, just an FYI, and just because I haven't asked you guys for more photographs doesn't mean that you cannot take more photographs. And before, maybe you create a piece, and you create the piece and you really like its proportion and everything that's going on there, but you're not maybe quite sure where it goes, right? Well, you can maybe position it one place, take a photograph, position it somewhere else, take another photograph, and then
Mhm.
judge between those two before you commit to the actually gluing part.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of moments that I like on this model, and I do think that perhaps you would be able to incorporate certain components. I mean, I actually just want to point out this story. Just make sure that these are the 11 inches right here. I'm sorry, the 12 inches right here. It
Hmm.
might be. It looks a little bit taller, but don't quote me on that. But regardless of that, maybe even, I mean, are these pieces becoming too segregated, right? I mean, can I maybe bring this volume, I don't know, maybe somewhere over here, and I mean, it's kind of like defying gravity here, maybe, but maybe you start doing that, or I don't know. I mean, we're already deciding that we're going for this concept and it's bridge. Now, put it to the test, right? I mean, okay, project, are you really what you say you are? But I was gonna say I do find this kind of wall and column interesting. They're not very common. I mean, I really like that it's not touching the ground. I really think that it's defying gravity, and I really like that there's other members projecting out of it. And it's almost like this face is kind of like you take this face and you kind of like push it outwards. of course, higher. So I really do think I like, you know, all of this, and probably even this right here. I would just maybe consider, you know, this right here, if the dots are fully there. Perhaps the latter is, but maybe this kind of changes for another bridge to somewhere else, right? I don't know, you know, I don't know. I think you still have some explorations to do, but I think overall you have a solid start.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Thank you. And like I said, I think it's kind of one of those things. I think it's easier when we're all there kind of together working on it. And I'm like, hey, what do you think of this? But
Oh
we
yeah,
just kind of go off of it and post it and keep our fingers crossed.
I know, and but you're absolutely right. I mean, this is where people starts visiting you on your desk, right? I mean, you have a model, and then people, you know, are attracted, right? It's like, hey, so tell me what you're doing, and a lot of conversations are spontaneous, versus right
Mhm.
now that, you know, you have a thought of like, oh, that's really cool, and then you keep scrolling and you see the next project, and that's it. You don't really say anything, or if you comment, you don't express yourself the same, or I understand. So, but don't forget, Tori. I mean, we can. I'm happy to arrange anything like this, even if it's just 5-10 minutes, right? I mean, Munoz, are you available? You know, and I can turn on my camera. Maybe you show me what you're doing right there, or send me a
Okay.
photograph, and you know, we can discuss. Okay, just so you guys don't feel that again. You don't have that feedback, because that feedback is important.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Professor. I appreciate that.
All right, Tori. Well, thank you for sticking around and for, you know, always producing your work, of course, but not only leaving it there and wanting to bring it to the next level. So I appreciate that. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good, I guess it's what, well, I'll see you tomorrow, but happy Thanksgiving anyway.
True. True. Thank you. Thank you, Tori. I'll see you
All right.
tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. And so see who was there afterwards. Um, Crystal, Tori, Crystal. I think you were after Tori, right? That's what I see right here. But if not, would someone correct me? In the meantime, what's going on, Crystal? Christian, for the 50%, it's just pencil for the drawing, correct? Correct, Christian. But all three sheets, just pencil. All right, fully done, just pencil. Correct, Christian. Crystal, what's going on? Question, comment,
I just
concern?
wanted to an approval for my model.
Okay, let's do that. Let's see. Crystal, clear. You're clear, right? You're clear. Studios. All right, Crystal. Yeah. These are fun. These are cool. Let's see. So maybe I'll start on the first one. Model one, cubes. Okay, cubes. Model one. That's the concept?
It's like more like cubinism, stuff like that, like cube, like a Rubik's cubes, stuff like that.
All
So
right. So
yeah,
cubism, maybe. Okay, let's see. Let's see.
yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting. Okay. Model two, stairs. I see. Very interesting as well. Mhm. And then model three, balance. Hmm. Okay. Well, what I like about all of your concepts, Crystal, is that I don't know, consciously or not, all of your models are intriguing or interesting, motivating from different views, right? I mean, the perspectives, of course, are going to be interesting, but you know, the top views, the front, the sides, I keep finding I see things that I see on one face, I don't see on others. And I think that's really interesting. That's not easy to do, right? I mean, to bring in this sort of a chaotic harmony between control, right? I mean, making it all look kind of like it's the same object from all views, but also how to make it interesting from different views. Just the same way that photographs, right? I mean, you can take a portrait photograph, but there's also profile, 3/4, right? I mean, I'm not a model, but I've heard, right? I mean, and that's what's really interesting about all of these models, that they all have really interesting propositions in terms of space. I really like this one, the cubes. I really enjoy this cross view. I really like how members kind of like slide on one. They're kind of like interlocking as well. That's really interesting. This view is really interesting as well. This one is a little bit more chaotic, but also very varied and, you know, kind of like interesting. It's exciting to the eye. And this one I also like a lot. And of course, I really like this implication of the space with the smaller straws. I really, really like that. You know, I mean, I think there's something interesting about claiming that space, even though it's not, you're not covering it, but you're implying that volumetric space just with a very, you know, how do you say, delicate members. So I really like that. But which one do we follow? Well, I don't know. For me, maybe between this one or probably this one over here. So probably between 1 and 3. Now, my only concern with 1, and actually the reason why I'm not inclined towards 2, is these things right here. Let's talk about this, Crystal, because I think I 100% understand what you're trying to do. And I'm glad that you have done it, because you can start seeing that this kind of connections become tricky. How do you feel about these connections right here after you have done them?
They were a bit hard, but it was done.
That's the spirit, Crystal. That's what's up. It was hard, but it was done. That's what's up, girl. Yeah, I mean, but then again, you know, I mean, okay, so this is a study model. They're kind of messy and they're kind of like clunky, right? But now looking into the final model, are we going to be able to achieve what you're actually after, Crystal? And I think, you know, a lot of students have attempted this before, and I can just share with you some of the issues, because the problem with this is that you don't really have a way to connect the cubes. Right. So it's almost like you need another component, right? Whether it's a slab or just a basswood stick that helps you be a connector, right? So that you can glue this cube to this face and the bottom one to the piece right here of this cube, right? So, I mean, what I'm trying to say is I'm just kind of like bringing a red flag right here. It's like, hey, Crystal, so if you were to do this, something like this for the final one, let's figure out a way of doing it clean, because it can really bring down the quality of your model. Because again, just look at this condition right here. Just look at how this is working, right? You have that L and you have this L, and this is the only place where they can connect, right? So you have one cube over here and another cube right here. So what does that mean? Does that mean that you're gonna have like a blob of like glue or like tape? And if so, we don't want that, right? So I'm gonna say this. I say let's go with 2. And I would just try to maybe incorporate certain components from 3, like this. It doesn't have to be a copy, but something like that. And maybe these guys right here can help you connect and hold those pieces that, again, are kind of like just floating right there on the stair. Let me see if I can find a better image to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, maybe here. All right. So what happens if you have maybe this member that comes all the way over here, and then another one kind of over here, and then this one keeps going all the way over there, and maybe it kind of comes out, and we don't see it because it's hidden right here. So you see, maybe there are certain components that are going to help you secure these cubes. Like this one is taken care of, or should be taken care of, with this face right here, right? You have enough space to glue it right there. This one can be glued to maybe extending this bridge right here at the bottom, right? So it can be glued right there. Now, this one, this cube right here in the center, I'm telling you that it's not going to be enough for them to glue there and glue there. There's a lot of things that can go wrong, and I think you have already experienced that. If this cube is not perfect, and even if it's perfect, you don't have enough space to glue it, right? So I want you to now explore another way that maybe you start connecting or giving yourself some structural support for that cube right there that is kind of in a way defying gravity. And that's what I love about this assignment, that it helps us start kind of become a builder, not only a designer, and understand that things that might look really well on paper doesn't necessarily work that well once they are applied to gravity and to the real life. Okay, how do you feel about that, Crystal? With that, do you think that work?
Yeah. Maybe I can add like some basswood, like where you said, and then extend one of the bridges on the top, probably to act that support on the bottom.
Yeah. And again, I don't want you to again, there's something special about how it looks right now, because again, it's defying gravity. Now, the question is, can this designer, okay, so we know that we cannot defy gravity physically. So as a designer, now the challenge becomes this, okay, so how do I fake it, right? It's kind of like a magician, right? Is magic true, or does magic exist? Well, I mean, well, I would say no, right? But I can make it look like there's magic, right? And now as a designer, how do we make this magic, right? I mean, how do I it's like floating, but it's not, because it's attached to something. It has to be attached to something. All right, Crystal. Now I was gonna ask you, but I didn't, so that it doesn't kind of like, affect my decision. But which one was your favorite?
Honestly, I would go with that one. I really like the cubes floating like downwards. So it was one of my favorites, the first one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, I'm glad it worked out. Okay, but you have a lot of really good, interesting components, right? I mean, I really like this slab. This slab is kind of floating right there, so that's really cool. I really like this cube right there, how it's connecting to that. I like that this cube right here, or this kind of piece, it kind of like does that, and rather than continue with another cube, you have continue with the lattice for the toothpicks. I think that's really cool, and I really like how the toothpicks are helping you hold this cube right here magically. So it's almost like it's doing, it's almost like it's doing this, right? I mean, what I'm doing right now with my fingers, I'm holding this cube right there. It's exactly what the toothpicks are doing. So that for me starts incorporating kind of like a very interesting approach to tectonics, which is the structure. So good. All right, Crystal. Well, other than that, Crystal, again, just careful with your alignments. I know that it's a study model, and I brought it up already, but I think this piece right here actually wanted to kind of like end up somewhere over here, right? Because I think right now it's like super bent. So it's okay if it's not touching over here, okay? So, or either you make it touch, or you're fine with it not touching, okay? But again, respect your 90-degree angle. So if you were to hold your triangle right next to that component, it should be aligning correctly with that 90-degree angle. Cool?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, Crystal. Any other questions? How's everything going? How's the other classes going?
Good. Just a little trouble with graphics, the dimensions, but I'm about to watch your video, so we should be good.
Okay. Yeah, you should be good. Well, I'll let you go so that you can take a look at that. Tori and William were able to figure it out. So, check their Instagram and just let me know if I can help you with anything else.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you, Crystal. Keep it up, okay? We're almost there. Good job. And let's see, next. Christian has a question. I had a question. How could I imply my other two concepts into my final model? Well, let's take a look, Christian. Let's see who's next. Crystal, and then Isis. Are you waiting on me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Isis. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you very much. I mean, it's kind of cloudy. The weather is changing. A lot of really exciting work here. So good, Isis. How can I help you?
I needed what is it called? Where you
Approval.
select one of mine? Yeah, the
Okay.
approval.
Awesome. Let's see. Let's see. Ascension, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
My concept was ascension. The model climbs upward from front to back at every level. Ooh, interesting. Let's see the look. Okay.
I had to like remake two of my models because I forgot the perspective drawings. So I remade this one and it looks a little cleaner now. But
The
that's pretty much it.
perspective drawing? What perspective drawing?
Not the perspective drawing, the perspective photos,
Ah,
the
the
images.
perspective photos. Okay. Okay. Ascension. Okay. Ascension. Concept one. Concept two. Aligned. My concept for this model was aligned. I attempted to align almost everything, every aspect of the model. As the model turns from side to side, hidden features are revealed until they are aligned again. Ooh, that sounds very interesting. Okay. Okay. All right. Concept number two. Concept number three. Exaltation. All right. My concept for this model was exaltation. To exalt is the act of raising high or elevated. The model has elevated levels and central focus pieces that rise above the others. Okay, very interesting. All right. Good, Isis. Well, good job. So I really like all of your concepts, and I really like the way that you're describing them.
Oh, thank you.
Let's
I wasn't
see.
sure if this one, like, I described it well, because when I was making it, it reminded me of like a temple. So I was like, what's a good temple word? Exaltation.
Okay. This one, right? The exaltation. Yes. Okay. So this one looks really interesting from the top. Well, I think this one's the one that I'm going to start off by discarding. I think in some of the other models you're exploring the z-axis better. That
A
means the
little
height.
more.
Right? This one's kind of like shorty, right? Okay, so I'm going to say it's either 1 or 3. Let's go back to 1. So this one, I really enjoy the top view. But there's something about the side views, both the front and the side view, that it's very unresolved.
Yeah, I had a hard time getting everything to kind of like stand straight and align itself with the tape and the straws.
Did you?
I'm sorry?
Did you? Was that difficult? Like this places
Yeah, to make it
version?
stand straight. Because this morning that I like had to redo it, it went a lot smoother. But yeah, like it looks better, and the difference between the middle one and the one on the far right, it's a little like the height difference is a little more noticeable too.
This one right
And the
here.
cardboard in the middle is more level now. But
So you have so this is the first set of photographs. You have other photographs that you're gonna upload?
I do. I can re-upload these ones since I can re-upload this one especially because I still have it made right here. I haven't taken it apart.
Okay.
If you'd like, or I can like maybe turn on my camera and show you because it's right here.
That's fine, Isis. I think definitely do so, re-upload or complement your upload right here later on. But I think this is enough for us to see. Because honestly, the true views that are gonna help us select are the top, front, and
The
side.
top
Because
ones.
again, yeah, well, actually more like the side ones. Because I'm seeing that all of the top ones are interesting, but the side ones are some of the like, right? In perspective, it looks very exciting, but in a flat view like this is where a lot of the flaws kind of like come up. So I think for me, that being that said, Isis, I really like this one, the exaltation. I think it really
Exaltation.
combines a lot of your strong techniques into a single model. It's a little bit closed out. I think some of these labs are kind of covering a lot of
Yeah,
the beauty that is happening inside, but I really like
inside.
this view right here. So remember that those slabs, you can cut them, and you can, just because it's a 2x8 doesn't mean that you can actually use let me show you right here. So it doesn't mean that maybe you can cut, like, for example, no, let me erase that. Let's say maybe you cut this right here, right?
Just
And
to
you
make it more
kind of
open
like,
and more.
right? You remove that, and then that over there, plus, I don't know, I mean, maybe it
Yeah.
appeared somewhere kind of like over here or something. I don't know, right? Or whatever, right? Or maybe it somewhere over here, right? So yeah, again, number 2, I think is too short, and number 1, I think, if you're saying that this was giving you some issues, right? I mean, structurally, in the study model, the final one is going to be a trial and error, and I'd rather go for
Yeah.
something a little more safer, because it's not that it's impossible or not able to happen this, but I think we will need to look at this closer. And honestly, even if we were to solve this issue right here, this detail, I really don't think that the model still would kind of like stand out as much as this other one would. How do you feel about that, Isis? Do you like this
I
exaltation?
like that one. Yeah, I did. I surprisingly liked it more than the second one because I thought that the second one was gonna be my favorite. But I did
Mm-hmm.
like this one, especially because it is a little taller.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing is, I don't know where to put that bottom, like the cereal box slab. I like
Mm-hmm.
because I like run out of ideas on where to put the like other things. But we can
Mm-hmm.
cut those too, right?
You can cut those too. And well, I'll give you a little secret. If you're short of ideas, just take a look at that text right here. I mean, there's a lot of good work right here from your classmates. And
Yeah.
it's not that you're copying, but you're trying to be like, oh, wait, like this model, whose is this one, Matthew? This is impressive, right? I mean, this is an impressive model right here. It's so interesting. There's so many layers. There's so many complex spatial interaction that it's just amazing, right? I mean, this is really, really interesting. So this is a really, really good project to look at, right? I mean, and kind of explore. And oh, look, it's I think you were talking about Rubik's cube, so that's his concept right here. And just check it out. Whose is this one? Bachelor, right? I mean, some interesting concepts right here. And worry not. Remember that your drawings right now. Um, Once you draw the model, you also see that you can further design it, and that's what we're drawing it. Because once you translate the model into design, I'm sorry, into a drawing, you start understanding things differently. So tell you what, let's work on the one that we selected, which was, where are you, Isis? I think, is this you? Yes. But is this the one, or is this
Yes.
the? Yeah, this is the one. Tell you what, let's transfer it onto drawing so that you don't waste time right now. Let's finish this assignment. Let's take care of it tonight. But right before you start, once you're done with your drawing for project number 3, and before you start project number 4, I would encourage you to maybe again brainstorm a little bit as to how maybe finish the model or finish the design. If there's a few pieces that you would like to move around, and if you would like to maybe untape and maybe play around with it, you still have that opportunity. Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to rebuild it anyway, so I'll be good.
True. It would help if you rebuild it again. So, all right, Isis. Well, but again, good job. I mean, keep it up. And we'll be done soon. Any other question?
No, but this is all I needed to get from you.
Awesome. All right. Well, again, Isis, take a look at what your classmates are doing. Hopefully this helps you right now to get your assignment in. And again, you know where to find me in case anything comes up, okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, Isis. See ya. And is that it? Who was after Isis? Well, I see Christian. Yeah. Christian and Batra and Mr. David. All right. Christian, question? Mr. Saldaña, are we here, Christian?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, hey, Christian, how are you?
Good, and you?
I'm doing well, Christian. What's going on? Are we talking about your 3 concepts?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think you uploaded. I don't know if I commented on yours. Oh yeah, I did.
Yes.
Did I tell you which one already?
It was the second one.
Okay. Oh, and then you're asking me about, because I mentioned, right, you can further explore ways of bringing interesting moments from the other 2 concepts onto this one. That was your question, right? Or that's your question?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let me refresh my memory right here and see what's going on right here. So this is, okay, let's see. So let's start from the beginning. So this is project number 3. This is model 1. Right, not bad, not my favorite. I do enjoy the top view of this one. Let's see what that is. Oh, okay, yeah. So again, if you've been hearing the other conversations that I've had with your classmates, again, I think in this one, the C-axis, which is the height, could be, kind of improved on. So I guess what I liked about this one in terms of the top view, it's these connectors and how you're creating sort of this courtyard kind of thing, and how you're bringing in light to the interior of this model with this opening right here. All right, let's see. Let's move on to the next one. And this is the one that we are employing, which, I mean, maybe you already are, right? Because if you take a look, you have this light well, right? I mean, kind of like this opening, this courtyard, which it's kind of mimicking what I like about the other one. So maybe you're already doing it right there. And the other one, oh, okay, this one. This was wild, Christian. This is wild. I mean, I was like, wow, that's very brave, right? I mean, it's like, whoa. But I really, I was like, well, but just based on my experience, I'm really sure that there's going to be some really critical issues right here in terms of constructability, structure, and all of that. And I know that Christian is up for the challenge, and he's not afraid of solving that. But I was like, well, what's the need for it, right? I mean, we have another model that is very good at that. So I really do like a lot of moments in this one right here. But I say, yeah, let's go with this one right here. And I think you're already doing it. I mean, my comment of incorporating the other 2 comments, because you have some very dramatic moments, right? I mean, like you have some overhangs, and again, there's some moments where we don't know if, like, what's holding what, right? So I think for me, that's the interesting part, where again, you kind of challenge the notion of what a column is, right? What a slat is, what a partition is, what an envelope is, what a bridge is, right? I mean, the moment that we start playing with these components, you start acquiring some very interesting models. And I really like for example, this window that you're doing right here, the kind of, again, the cantilever that you're creating right here. And some of the moments right here, perhaps, I don't know, maybe there's something to explore on this view, right? You see how it's kind of empty right here?
Yes.
Maybe that's where I would look into your other models and see, like, okay, can I do something interesting there? I love this top view, right? This top view is really good. Nice perspective. These columns right here, that's really interesting. I would try to maybe find a way to ground them. I don't know if you want to put a piece of material in between them, or if you want to put like a long piece in the bottom, or maybe you don't. You don't have to. I'm just saying that if you're not going to do it, right, just be very careful when you're fixing them right here in the ground, so that this looks very, very clean and the spacing is even. All right, that this spacing is kind of even right here. That looks very nice. I think for me, it's more the sides, Christian. I would maybe find ways, see if you could maybe enhance those side views right here, just so that I don't look that plain. But other than that, that's kind of what I meant. I mean, you're already doing it. Yeah. Does that help?
For the side views, I was thinking of adding what I did for the top view of the third one. What I did with the toothpicks.
Okay.
I had done like a little like patching.
Oh, hey, let me see. This one right here?
Yes, I was thinking of doing that on the sides.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I didn't mention that, but I thought there's something really interesting about what you did right here with this very thin members. Okay. I like that.
So I was thinking of just adding it to the side of that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Just more space, like more of another wall, I guess, and more support.
Something like this?
Yeah.
Kind of like that right there. Okay. Yeah. Now my question is, right, does it have to be in the same plane, right? Does it have to be right here, or could it be a little bit inside, right? Maybe it starts actually over here, right? Right. Yeah, right. You said it, or it could be to the middle, right? I mean, I don't know. I get those are the kind of moments, right? I mean, rather than taking this just as a wrapper, right? I mean, you can you can make it a little bit more exciting, playing with the layers. Right? I mean, okay, maybe that's in a different plane than what's there already. Do you know what I mean with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Christian. Well, other than that, I mean, I think you're good to go, my friend. Let's get those drawings down. What do you think?
Sure will.
All right. All right, Christian. Well, anything else?
No, that was pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. All right. Cool, Christian. Well, you know where to find me, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Christian. You too. Keep up the good work, okay? We're almost done. And Miss Kranza. Hi, Batra. Are you waiting on me or?
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the concept approval to see which one to start drawing.
All right. Happy to help you with that. Let's take a look. Model 1, balance. We're going for balance here. All right, let's take a look. Okay. Okay. Model 2, sustainability. Oh, okay, interesting. How is this about sustainability? I'm curious, Batra.
How the whole top structure of the design is sustained by like I guess you could say columns, and yeah.
Okay. Sustainability, usually when you hear sustainability, it's about like eco-friendly and,
Oh, okay.
environmentally conscious. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So
So,
would it
yeah,
be is stability the same thing? It's the same.
stability. Maybe I think it's
Okay.
maybe a little bit more stability.
All right. Okay.
Sustainability is again, maybe I'm wrong, right? Sustainability. You see, and we're gonna see a lot of like green and like
Right. Oh, okay.
environmental sustainability, uh, ability to coexist constantly. I mean, maybe these pieces are coexisting, but anyway, I just want to point out because I
Right.
was curious, right? Like, oh
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
how is
How
this
does that?
sustainable?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Let's go back. So that was no, not that one. Concept two, sustainable. And model three, spiral. And I'm assuming that that's because of this kind of like squiggly thing and like the
Yes.
infinity sign.
Yes.
Okay. Mm. I really like how it's kind of like an optical illusion, right? Because they kind of they're in different planes, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
Well.
one window is in one plane and the other one is
Yes.
in the back.
Well, that was actually
Uh,
my goal. I was trying to. I don't know if you've seen the round, like the round sparrow. I guess.
which
I
one?
tried.
Where?
I people use it like when they're for hmm,
When they're
let
what?
me see. I don't know if you've seen the black and white you can't send pictures to here, huh?
No, but you can share your screen with me.
Okay. Well, it's because I'm actually I oh hypnosis, I guess you could say. Something like that. A black and white hypnosis.
Okay. I'm interested. I hear you. What about it?
So I tried doing a square version of that.
Oh, is it this one?
Yes. There you go.
Oh, okay. Whoa, I'm getting hypnotic right here. Okay. I see what you mean. To be honest with you, I think you have a more interesting, your model's a little bit more interesting than that thing. Um, well, but I really like that. I really like that you're playing with layers and with planes, because I think
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the main assignments of this is kind of like how do you explore planes in a
Right.
cubic area.
Right.
So that's really good. The only thing with this one is that again, it becomes, I think all of the attention is given to that view,
Right.
right?
Yes.
And it's kind of hard to get excited about this model. If you look at it, actually
Right.
one photo, two photos, and three and four, actually they only look at this view, right?
Right.
Because the
Right.
side view, which is kind of this one, is not that exciting.
Right. Yeah.
So that being said, I think I would actually encourage you to go with number two, right? Which I really like. There's a lot of really interesting moments. And maybe my challenge to you would be, I mean, maybe you can bring back that idea on this one, but you don't
Right.
have to, right? I mean,
Mhm.
if it's gonna start looking like an alien that you start mixing two different animals together,
Right.
then there's no case
Mm-hmm.
because you're still doing it, right? I mean, I really like this frame right here. So this frame is made from this plane right here, and then you have this lab, which is a different form, and then you have all of this that is different, and then you have this piece right there frame in the center. So I think
Right.
that's really interesting right here. And it's kind of the same effect that we're getting from the other concept right here, of course, in a different kind of flavor, right? In a different
Mm-hmm.
kind of variation.
Right.
That being said, I mean, I would just look at, and I like even the way that you photograph this model. I mean, it's from different views. Just make sure that maybe some of this vertical slabs are not maybe covering too much. I mean, I don't
Okay.
mind them right now,
Right. Right.
but I think there's still room for you to, really, really take a look at what's going on right here.
Right. Okay.
Which is interesting. This is the model that I used as an example for the today, right? I mean, that I was
Right.
drawing on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, cool. All right, Petra. Well, how do you feel about that?
Yeah,
Was this
sounds
your
good.
least favorite one, or you
No,
didn't have a favorite?
they they were all good to me. Yeah.
That's the right answer. Petra.
Yeah.
That's the answer. Well, I mean, Munoz, I really don't care because I like all of them. I was like, that's good. That's good. All right, cool. And I see your lap right here. You're trying. That's good too.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
All
Petra.
right. Well,
What else?
so for the one you chose, stability would be a better word, a better concept for it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's talk. Can we talk? Actually, thank you for bringing it up. Can we talk about it a little bit more? So, can you give me again your little speech about what sustainability means to you, or how were
So
you
when I
achieving it?
yeah, so when I was when we're doing our little our home, our dream home, I guess you could say. When I was
Mm,
drawing, I guess a little part of my house, I realized that you can't just well, the carport that I did for my house, my idea that I had for it, I couldn't just do it the way I wanted. I needed like something to, I guess, sustain the top plane of the carport. So that's what
mm-hmm,
encouraged me to do this. Um, I wanted to explore more, I guess, with that, with sustainability. Well, not sustainability because that's not what it is. I
mm-hmm,
guess how to sustain well, parts of, I guess, parts of the designs, I guess you could say.
mm-hmm. I think maybe a word that you might be looking into, right? I mean, it's an overhang.
Okay.
There's this word, right? I mean, of overhang, right? I mean,
Right.
um,
Yes.
right. So it's a little bit about that, right? All of these are overhangs, right? I mean,
Right.
you see how this member right here is supporting all of this right
Right.
here. Also, all of this
Supporting.
is
There you go. Yeah.
So that's another word, right? I mean, and I'm
Hmm.
adding right here structural to the Google search because if not, we're gonna get all sorts of random stuff. But if we put
Right.
structural support,
Hmm.
right? I think this allows me to be like, oh, okay, I see what you mean, Batra.
Right.
Um, uh, okay, so then maybe yeah, sustainability. Maybe it's about support. And then what I like to do is I go to Merriam-Webster right here, and I type support, right? And it gives me the synonyms, right? And sometimes I find, right? I mean, I don't think there's a lot of interesting right there. But the key, an interesting concept would be support, or I think that's it. I mean, or maybe structural support, because you have three words, so you can use three
Right.
words.
Yeah.
Or again, I give you the other one that is kind of like the overhang.
Right.
Um, okay. All right, Batra. Cool. Wow, that's
Okay.
crazy.
Thank you.
All
All right.
right.
Well, I'll work on a new concept name as well.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean,
Okay.
just think about it. The good thing is that
All
we
right.
don't need it right
Yeah.
right now. So
Hmm.
we're good to go. All right, Batra. Anything else?
That'll be it for now.
All right. All right, Batra. Well, keep up the good work, and I'll see
Thank you.
you. I'll see you soon. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good day.
Thank you, Batra. You too.